Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Amanda Hassel, and I'm so excited to have you with me today as we are interviewing Peter Smith. I had such a fun time with Peter. He always leaves me feeling incredibly inspired, incredibly settled within myself and expanded into my own magnificence. And we are talking today about ultimate consciousness, which is one of Peter's newer offerings for the world. And comes forward at a time where a lot of us have felt the call or a pull or even just a push into knowing that we are much, much more than what we have lived and what we are at the moment. And knowing that we can be much more than that, we unfold into something truly, truly magnificent. If you don't know who Peter Smith is, he is the creator of several modalities and the founder of the Institute for Quantum Consciousness. And with his consciousness work, he has created the quantum consciousness modality, the healing modality, Gaia consciousness, among others, and now ultimate consciousness. And that is what we are talking about today, ultimate consciousness and the facilitation of it and what it's like to have an ultimate consciousness session and all the rest of it. Please be mindful that there is a little mini session in this interview. It's a short one, 5 or so minutes. It's towards the end. So make sure that you are somewhere where you are not driving or your attention isn't needed somewhere else for those 5 minutes. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. It was truly a delight to host and to hold, as always. And yes, enjoy. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this amazing interview with the incredible Peter Smith. And Pete, hi, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Amanda. It's great to be here.
So, we are talking today about ultimate consciousness. And I guess, there's a journey with any modality that comes forward, that comes forth of how it's created and how it sort of becomes what it is. Could you tell us a little bit about the journey towards ultimate consciousness?
Well, Amanda, I like to think that this has been 20 years coming because that's how long I've been working to help people to do different bits and pieces. Starting as a therapist, working with anxiety and depression. And for years, I chased trauma. And I got actually really good at chasing trauma and taught some great techniques for that. I've had hypnotherapy schools where I've taught people how to be therapists. I've looked into the afterlife for the answers, past lives, whatever it might be. We embarked on quantum consciousness, started to visit other realms and other places where we could find the answers. But if we take all of that and we say, well, how do we simplify all of that into one thing? And if I go back a little bit into the quantum consciousness space that you and I have talked about a number of times now and worked with, there's aspects of us that exist outside of time and space. And if we look at our timelines, we look at alternate realities, the theories of the multiverse, all of this that is coming through the field of quantum physics, all of these wonderful theories, our consciousness is transportable. We can take our awareness anywhere. So we can actually claim anything out of our multiverse that we want to because we are quantumly entangled with it. I don't want to get too complicated with some of the terminology, but we exist in many timelines. And we have timelines in the future that are us in our most magnificent. Now, for us to claim those, which are rightfully ours because they're versions of us, just to carry the vibrational frequency of those future states into our now, to embrace it, absorb it, it sets us free and raises our vibration, not by focusing on what's wrong and chasing trauma, but by claiming our magnificence that is inevitable in those timelines anyway. We simply merge them into the one that we're in.
Yeah, wow, that's really powerful. And I can certainly vouch for that, having received many ultimate consciousness sessions and facilitated many. I know that you come into this space of absolute freedom, because there is no denying how magnificent you truly are, and the light that you carry. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. So we are talking a lot about ultimate consciousness, and I know that there's been, perhaps you've noticed it as well, an awakening lately, a wave of consciousness where people have kind of come to themselves and said, this isn't working, there's more, and feeling a pull and a call towards healing arts and therapies. And I know that ultimate consciousness, for me, it's like at the forefront of these new wave of modalities coming through that support our growth of awareness, and moving into a kinder, more compassionate version of ourselves, as we embody that more and more. So how does ultimate consciousness, how do we know if that's a right sort of session to have, or if that's a right, even indeed, to take the training to facilitate them ourselves?
Well, back to your comment about the awakening that's happening around the world. Yes, first of all, I so agree with that. And just in the last couple of weeks, I've had maybe half a dozen people make appointments with me, and they've said, I've been on this spiritual journey now for about 6 months. So I don't know what happened in the second half of last year, but all of these people are either reading a book or finding out what they want to do or questioning where they're at. And maybe this is one of the beautiful ripple effects of people taking time out over the last year for all manner of global reasons that we know about, to actually take the time to reflect and answer the call to something within them. So this whole awakening process is happening to people really fast. Now, 10 years ago, you saw a movie, or you had an experience, or you read a book, then you did a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and you might have woken up over a long period of time. I think the world needs us all to wake up right now and to claim our magnificence, and as a species, as the whole of humanity, remember who we are. The world needs us all in our ultimate vibration in these times, because we're facing challenges as our traditional structures collapse. So we have a need for people to awaken and to claim their magnificence, raise their vibration, and take humanity with it. When we all do that at an individual level, then the whole place changes. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can do that either as somebody who is a client of a session such as these, or somebody who facilitates them for somebody else. But ultimate consciousness is something within our grasp, and whether you do it for yourself or whether you want to help other people do it, all of this is absolutely connected into the awakening of humanity and people claiming who they really are. There is a huge remembering happening on the planet at the moment as people are moving further into their magnificence. Now, a lot of people don't want to awaken, and that's okay too, because the universe works on free will. So if you want to stay in the old ways and you want to sit down and spend your time flipping between maybe the news and Netflix or something like that, and just stay in some of that energy of what's happening in the world, and there's a lot of fear around at the moment. But the best advice we can offer people is forget about the fear. Don't worry about the things that are holding us back. Look for the things that help you to soar, to become who you're meant to be, that open your heart, that blow your mind and take you into a lifetime of purpose. Now, you can find that as a client, or you can find that as a facilitator, but just know that you are meant to be magnificent and it's within your reach. And for us to have an offering like Ultimate Consciousness, it's fast for clients. It's able to be trained to facilitators in a short space of time. But all we're looking for is for people with an open heart to come and do this for themselves, and then make that contribution to humanity as a result as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The amazing thing that I've noticed about ultimate consciousness sessions is that whole shift from, and there is a lot of it now, coming to the forefront, trauma-based and trauma-focused. And you mentioned that previously. What I love about ultimate consciousness is it transcends all of that. In fact, transcending that is the whole purpose of it, really, in that moment. But I love it because it's so needed. When we have those sessions, they feel incredible. And even if you kind of bring in that issue, you're transcending them, and it's such a beautiful offering to have. When someone has an issue, um, what does meeting their ultimate self, or even having ultimate consciousness experience, beyond connecting them to their
Well,
magnificence, what does it do?
well, as and this is really important for people to know the way that you and I train people and our other co-teachers as well. And what's important about ultimate consciousness is that the person that you go to see, who is your facilitator of the ultimate consciousness session, they already see the magnificence in you. They already know that the ultimate self for you is within your reach. So even by coming to see one of the ultimate consciousness practitioners, you're already sitting in the presence of someone who truly believes you and believes in your magnificence. Now, for some people, that may be the first time in their life that's even happened.
Mm.
And as you sit in the presence of that person that truly believes in you, and you quantumly entangle, if you like, you are one energy field for the journey that you take together, you are lifted without even trying. And then an ultimate consciousness practitioner won't say, tell me where this all began, tell me about your childhood. You won't get that. What you get is, what is it that you seek to transcend?
Yeah.
Well, I want to live a life without my depression. I want to live a life without back pain. Tell me more. And we go into a whole conversation, and we are signaling to the universe, this is the timeline that we're looking for out there, the one without the back pain, the one without the depression. And even by generating that, and you know the old ask and it is given, and you know about the creating your own reality, and we know about the secret manifesting. Even that initial conversation before we start to travel into the realms of ultimate consciousness is conjuring up the vibrational frequencies that are going to pull in this desired state of being to that client. So whether it be a physical issue, an emotional issue, whether it be spiritual exploration, um, the way in which we um, articulate out to the universe the high vibrational intention that we want to undertake, that's what brings it to us. I want to live a life in total freedom. I want to step into my magnificence with absolutely nothing in the way. There's nothing in there about back pain or depression or any of the other things that they might have asked about
Mm.
or sought to transcend. And what that does is that's sending the universe like a big hook out to that timeline to bring it back home and to make it available to the person who's there for the session.
Yeah, absolutely. And setting, it really is like being set free, isn't it? It's like, it's that, it's incredible. It's very hard to describe. It's wordless sometimes, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this is what we all deserve. I mean, we've been sort of cultured and conditioned to be, in some ways, cogs in a very large machine. But we are divine spiritual beings that exist in multiple realities, here to learn the lessons that empower our soul. That's who we are. It's a little long for a t-shirt, but that's who we are, and everybody deserves that. Now, all of this other noise gets in the way, and we forget our magnificence. It's part of being here, and the way that we condition people through our educational systems, academia, Western culture, whatever it might be, family culture as well. We're taught that we are none of those things. Even if you are drawn to one of the traditional religions, a lot of that is about you are separate from the greatest energy of that religion, whether it's some sort of the Almighty or the gods or whatever they may be. There's this separation. The beauty of ultimate consciousness is you can be anything you want to be, because if you desire that, then you create that as one of the realities in your multiverse. We simply claim it and we bring it to you. And then you step into your life with a renewed sense of energy and purpose, carrying that vibrational frequency with you.
Yeah, fantastic. I know, from my own personal experience, I once did a session inside a sun. I received a session inside a sun. It was wonderful, and I that was part of our training group, Pete. And I'm not sure if you remember, but from the sun, I was red, like burnt here upwards. And it was
Absolutely.
a physical manifestation of the changes in energy and in approach uh, and is still very, very significant to me today. Now, all I need to do is when I find this sort of doubt or any kind of lower stuff, I go back to that sun. I find that consciousness that was in the sun, and it just burns away. As a consequence, a fearless me is stepping forward, which is one of the amazing benefits of facilitating and receiving so many ultimate consciousness sessions.
That, that's beautiful. I love the way the universe gave you a little physical reminder of your session. Just so I can really give you something to remember this by. Here you go.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, absolutely. And I will often get red here now. My husband and family have commented on it. And if there's something happening, I'll be really red here. And they will say something and that's okay. I'm transcending something. It's fine. And then it's all good. Yeah. What I love about ultimate consciousness is not just the facilitation, which is amazing, and I love it. But what I love is that you've built this beautiful network across Australia of like-minded souls and amazing, beautiful, incredible people. But it's a community full of support, and it's not just the ultimate consciousness facilitators; it's the collective consciousness as well, that the group that you've created. Can you tell us a little bit more about the network of people that you will be able to join as a ultimate
Mm,
consciousness
mm,
facilitator?
mm. Well, there's a couple of changes in some of that now, and I'll talk to that too, which is about the network of teachers who teach this, and then I'll talk about that community as well. I had to sit and think. I've been around, I've been doing this a long time, and the earth needs so much from all of us now. And I sat and I thought, well, I can teach lots of courses, and I have over the years, but what I need to do now is I need to teach teachers. So out of my experience of the last 15 or 20 years, I looked around the different states for people that would be able to come on this journey and step up with me and teach this work. And that's when I invited you as Western Australia, Amanda and Tony in South Australia, Rob in Queensland, Natalie in Victoria, and of course I'm in New South Wales. And we haven't come for Tassie yet, but maybe we will. So, it was about who are the teachers who I think can help us take this message to the world, draw people in and set them free to go out and be these ultimate consciousness practitioners. I can't do it all anymore. So I needed a great team to do that. And as we train these people, they come into a community of all of the courses that I've run over the last 15 years. We've all joined together into what we call the consciousness collective. People who've been drawn to serve humanity. They talk about the light workers, and I like to talk about the light leaders and the light teachers, and everything is made of light because we are light beings here to bring light to a world that has too many shadows, and to be part of a community that is a couple of hundred strong globally now, to be part of a community that carries that intention together. Group consciousness can do things that individual consciousness cannot.
Mm.
And we know about the super radiance effect, for example, or the Maharishi effect, it's called sometimes, when 10,000 people meditating in a city can lower its crime rate.
Yeah.
Lynn McTaggart's done some of those experiments. Greg Braden talks about them in his books. So this is the power of a collection of people coming together. And it's really fun just to hang out with other people, and whether it be, more recently a Zoom call, or whether it be a gathering in one of the capital cities across Australia. And, we've got people in America as well now, and Britain, Canada, Mexico. So we're starting to seep out into some of these other places. But what it does is it keeps us all in touch with each other. So you have a support network of people that you can go to, all connected through a Facebook page as well, where we share some inspirational information from time to time, and perhaps a bit of fun as well. It's great to be part of something that's greater than ourselves. And I think that we all seek to do that because it echoes our connection to the divine, because underneath all this, we are more than ourselves. So there's like an echo of truth when we join with other people and we undertake a collective purpose. So the Consciousness Collective is like an alumni group of all of these courses. So anyone who comes through Ultimate Consciousness comes in and joins that group as well.
Mm. Yeah. I love that aspect of it because, like you say, that whole collectively we are stronger, and collectively we are ushering, in wave after wave of light. And I know that after every session, every facilitation of Ultimate Consciousness, I can feel the energy just kind of go, whoop, a bit bigger and a bit bigger, and then all of a sudden it I mean, it was vast to begin with, and now it's this. It's infinite. I can't touch the sides of it. It's incredible. The energy just builds and builds and builds.
Absolutely. And the beauty of all that, Amanda, is it's naturally who we are. And our role as the people who are bringing this work to the world, and lots of people doing lots of wonderful work, it's time for us to remember who we really are. It's time for us to remember our magnificence and to get past our social conditioning, our family conditioning, our, all of the things that hold us back, that keep us small. They don't serve humanity anymore. Ultimate consciousness is a way in which we can grab that higher vibration and bring it into the now in, a period of time that is fast and powerful and lasting. Because as you continue to connect with that energy, it sets you free, not by focusing on what was wrong, but by simply catapulting you into everything that's right about you. And that's when you really remember who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. That was epic. I just want to let that soak in for a bit. I love that when we touch our own magnificence, we give other people permission to touch their own magnificence. Not permission, but even just the concept of it. Wow, I can do that. Gosh,
Yeah, we show them it's possible.
yeah, the possibility of it. And when we help people to remember who they really are, that freedom that unfolds from that is incredible. And I I'm forever thankful that you decided to pick up that phone that day and give me a call and say, hey, would you be an ultimate consciousness facilitator?
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, setting free into who we truly are. Wonderful. If it's all right with you, maybe you might like to offer a little, maybe 5 minute kind of, I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot here, maybe a little 5 minute expansion into a little bit of our ultimate consciousness, or even just into a remembering of who we truly are. Would that be
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to.
Thank you.
That'd be great. So wherever you are out there, I want you just to connect with the vibration of my voice, and I'll offer you some words, but I want you to feel and sense and experience beyond the words, because all I'm really offering you in this few minutes is to help you be called home to who you really are. And it's like every breath that you take in this little journey brings peace. It's like every moment in linear time just gently dissolves. And deeply and profoundly within you is your remembered state of being. And if you get a sense of around you all of the noise of the world, and you allow the noise to subside, it all just disappears, dissolves, falls gently away. And then you get a sense of a layer that is your conditioning, that's come from a lifetime of being in your life, in this particular incarnation. You get a sense of the conditioning that may or may not have served you. It doesn't matter. Just allow your awareness to drift even deeper past that conditioning. And as you do that, there's an aspect of you, a sense of you that is pure, beautiful, and eternal. And if you focus on the center of your heart, just for a moment, the energetic heart that carries the vibrational frequencies of your deepest and most profound authenticity. It's like in this moment, touch the purity of who you really are. And as you touch that and you gently surrender into that, this is your magnificence. And it's simply who you are. And as you get a sense of that magnificence deeply within you, it's like it starts to expand through those other layers, through the layers of your conditioning, because your conditioning cannot hold your magnificence in. And it rises through that layer of your conditioning and it bursts out into the noise around you. And it's like the noise of the world and everything that it's bringing into your life, that's no match for your magnificence either. It's like you expand and grow into this incredibly divine, spiritual, multidimensional being that is the real you. And it's so easy. You only have to do one thing to claim this for yourself, and that is to remember. To remember who you really are. And in this moment, you remember. And as your magnificence shines out into the world around you, it stops the noise wherever you are. It releases the conditioning, not just of you, but of the people around you, because you have shown them it can be done. And just by that beautiful energetic infusion of your energy field touching theirs, you allow them to do the same. And it's like this beautiful wave of consciousness that goes out as people touch people and everybody starts to remember their magnificence. Everybody stands there profoundly empowered by their own authenticity, shining their own light in their own way, echoing their magnificence from the mountaintops, across forests and valleys and cities. This is who I am, and this is what I came to be. And nothing can stop me. And as you gently rest in the energy that this generates within you, your heart knows the truth. And your soul knows who you really are. Your soul came to be you. Ahead of 8 billion other options on this planet, your soul chose you. Because your soul knows your magnificence. And your soul is part of that magnificence, as are you, in one beautiful, combined spiritual being having the human experience, magnificent in every way. And as you allow the vibration of that to permeate your being at every level, nothing will ever be the same again. Life will be forever changed. And this is who you are. And you just came home to yourself. So go out into the world and simply be that. And now that you are, when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return. welcome back to everybody. And let's, we probably should have said, well, I should have said before that, please don't do this if you're driving your car or operating heavy machinery, as we say.
That's right. But feel free to operate heavy machinery holding your magnificence afterwards.
Absolutely. Well, if they probably won't even need the machine anymore.
The
Or the
pyramid
car.
answered. Yeah. Thanks, Pete. That was truly wonderful. It occurred to
welcome.
me during that moment where we were, or well, one of the moments where I guess we were expanding into magnificence, that this work really just allows everything to fall away. You know, all this, you called it conditioning, but all the kind of little boxes that we put ourselves in, all the labels we give ourselves, all the judgments we've placed on ourselves and agreed with when other people have said it, they all literally just fall away, and we are left shining and magnificent, to use your word, and incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an amazing experience, and I really, I once again want to thank you so much for coming and along today and giving us a little expansion of what ultimate consciousness can offer. And if people want to find out more, they can find me. I'm on Facebook. I'm pretty much everywhere. Amanda Hustle. Or Focus Hypnosis, but they can also find you at the Institute for Quantum Consciousness. That's a website. So if you just www.instituteforquantumconsciousness.com, there's an ultimate conscious page there. And there's also explorations of a lot of your other work as well, which is definitely worth a check out if people want to. And yeah, do you have any other things you'd like to add, Pete?
Well, it can always be great if you want to learn this work to have a look at your teacher, Amanda being one of those, of course, and have a session. Get a sense of what the work is like, and that will help you to not just touch what we've been talking about within yourself, but will give you an opportunity to understand what it is that you would be offering to others. So it's always great as you move into something else. You know, we talked a little bit about modalities, I think we called them, Amanda, and ones that I've done over the years. And I've been talking to a few people about this, and the days of long drawn out modalities that might take 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it might be, I really sense that there's a need for urgency for good people to learn powerful approaches that they then go out there and offer with their heart. And, you know, I don't think that you need to be, 5 years into your healing journey to learn this work. You know, we see this as a beautiful extension to a healing practice, or even if you're doing it for the first time, it's a great way to learn something that's fast and powerful and to get trained in it and go out there and offer it. So, we just want to take a ripple out to the world that helps humanity move into a whole new vibration.
Yeah, that's a great point, Pete. Thank you for reminding me of that. It was on my list of things to ask, but yeah, it doesn't matter if you are a newbie or if you are an established therapist or practitioner. In fact, sometimes it's easier to train someone who doesn't have all these extra things to be there, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Like I've said to some of the people that I trained as hypnotherapists 10 or 15 years ago, they say, Pete, you're teaching all this different stuff now. I say, yeah, now you've got to unlearn. So, so that can be part of the challenge. But people who want to learn with an open heart, they always do well.
Yeah. So I guess the only prerequisites are an open heart and a call to serve humanity.
Perfect.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wonderful. So I'm looking forward to working with all those that feel the pull to work with me. I'm very much excited to do that. Thanks again, Pete. And yeah, I'm sure maybe we can tee up something else and have a different conversation another time. I'm sure that there will be lots of questions from people. So I am hoping that, yeah, maybe we can do this again another time, or in another format, depending on how we go. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Amanda. I'd love to talk another time, and thank you for being part of this as we take this out to the world.
It's an absolute honor. Okay, that's it from us. We'll see you all soon.